Hey guys, and welcome to the part 2 of the Superman Heat Vision tutorial. Make sure to click on the screen if you haven't seen the first part, because there we do all the base work, the base for the whole effect. So if you haven't checked it, go check it out. Here we're just going to fine tune the final effect we have created. So let's make the good look great. So here where we stopped making the tutorial is we added the eye glows, we have added the beams, we have added distortion, we have added the red cool glow. So the next thing in our agenda is to actually create the fiery energy emitting from the beams. And what I used is actually a fire asset. So I used fire assets, and those are like the ground, the real low ones. They're creating this cool flame vibe, and we're just gonna colorize it and match it to our scene. So I'm using the ActionVFX.com's ground fire trails. They are amazing. They look absolutely incredible, but you don't have to use them. They're not sponsoring this episode, they just have very cool stuff. But if you're interested, I will leave a link down in the description where you can go check out their fire elements. They get a huge pack, so you can go there, buy them as a pack or buy them individually for purposes like these. Also, Video Copilot's Action Essentials, a bit cheaper, but there you go. And also, if you can try to Google and YouTube search if you can find some free fire elements for you to use. Okay, enough of that. If you don't want to use fire, you can use smoke elements, you can create your own fire elements. Nothing is limited here, so just do whatever suits you best. So we'll go ahead and drop this Fire Trail 114 from ActionVFX.com ground fire element assets, and you can see the file. This is like absolutely huge, because this is a 4K element. Looks amazing. See, it looks amazing, and everything is just very cool. So okay, let's just scale it down here, and all we're going to do is to actually move the anchor point here to the base of the fire. And when we rotate it, we can rotate it from that point. Let's move it onto the fire. Let's scale it down just a bit more, like something to 50%. That's good. Okay, let's rotate it a bit more, just like so we can add to the perspective of this effect. Then let's go ahead and scale it down from the top, so we can scoot it down so it's not that big of a fire. It's not emitting all the way here. It's just like a small like subtle fiery element going on there. Okay, so that looks somewhat okay, like this. And the next thing to do is to actually colorize it and mask it so it works with our scene. So let's go ahead and colorize it first. Let's go ahead and find Scenes Effect, put it there, so make it black and white. Then let's go ahead and find the VC Color Vibrance. It's from Video Copilot. It's free actually, so you can go ahead and download it right now if you want. Let's go ahead and pick this color. And let's go ahead and put the vibrance up just a bit, and let's preserve luminance. Yeah, let's keep that on full. Just like playing around. Put the brightness a bit up there. The gamma. Nice. And then let's go ahead and find curves. Curves right there, and let's jump to the alpha channel to take away a bit of the transparency, so it's more subtle, and it's just like it's there. We don't fade it away, we just take more of the transparency information away from there. Okay, I made actually a keyframe, so like this. That looks pretty cool. Let's put it under our beams like this. It looks already a lot better. Now let's go ahead and parent it to our left eye so it moves accordingly. So let's see what we got here. Okay, that looks already pretty epic. But as you can see, it starts to move across, and it's a bit misplaced. We could actually go and size it up just a bit. like this. So first things first, we have to split the layer so it begins here. And it can't start like this. That's not how it works. So we have to go ahead and add a mask. So let's go ahead and double click on the layer. So we add the layer properties, and let's go ahead to view a new viewer. So this is a very, very cool trick what you can use to really enhance the productivity, because now if we jump back to the composition like this and we do changes here, they will automatically and dynamically affect the clip here. So that is just pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and move it one frame forward, and let's trim the fire so it's not here yet. And let's go ahead and add a mask like there. You can see how dynamically it works automatically. So then hit V on your keyboard and just select these 2 points and go to mask path. Okay, so one frame forward here, there. I want the fire to be, okay, put that one frame back, and here we want the fire to extend here where the fire is, so you can see how efficient this is. And then one frame forward, it's extended all the way, so we can go ahead and extend it how it should be extended, like this. Now let's see how that looks. Okay, that looks very cool. Okay, nice. So then after he have shot that, we have to do the exact same thing. So as you can see, the flame is starting to move a bit too much to the left. So let's go ahead and click a keyframe here just to apply a one, and let's go here in end, and let's go ahead and take these so it doesn't affect the eyes too much. So it goes like this. All right. Okay, then let's go ahead and fade it out. Let's go to the curves and click on the curves adjustment layer and hit U on our keyboard so we can see the keyframes. The shot stops here. So let's go ahead and take the alpha curve all the way down so we can see just like a settle fade out for the fire. Like this. It's real subtle, but it's still there, and it really adds up to the effect. So okay, so now we got our first energy flow. What I also did is I duplicated it and put one, like flipped it horizontally, so not horizontally, vertically, so it's underneath the fire too. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'll be back when I have done that. Okay, so now I have added the second fire element here under, and I just took down the opacity or the alpha channel even more, just like to add the settle fiery feel to it. And also I speed it up a bit so it doesn't look as similar to the other one. So okay, we can go ahead and close this viewer here and look what we have here. Okay, so this is all looking pretty amazing here. So there's actually just a few things to do anymore, is to add the heat distortion. That's one thing. And then the next thing to do is to add the glows and the distortions for the face. So let's start with the heat distortion itself. What I'm going to do is to create a new solid. Call this heat distortion, so HD, because everything is HD here. And then let's go ahead and pre-compose it to distortion. Let's go ahead and open it up, and let's find fractal noise. Fractal noise right there, like this. That looks cool. And then let's bump up the contrast a bunch and drop down the opacity, and let's go to transform and scale it up so we can see it's not evolving at all. So let's go ahead and add an expression for the evolution. So I'll click on the evolution stopwatch and type in time star or what, I don't know what that's called, but you know, star, punctuation, and 300. So now it's evolving 300 times a second, or that's, yeah. So now I got a time amount of 300 evolving the whole thing. So that will add the naturality for the heat distortion itself. So that looks pretty cool, and I think we're done here. So let's go ahead and jump back to tutorial. We can go ahead and close these other panels. Add his distortion right there. Let's go ahead and get a new adjustment layer. Then let's go ahead and add displacement map onto adjustment layer, and use our distortion as a map. Let's click on off the distortion, and if we look, now we can see some distortion happening. And also you can go ahead and add more distortion, add less distortion. So you can put this to like to 10 and this to 10. Then we can go ahead and try to stretch map to fit and wrap pixels around. Okay, it doesn't work like this at the moment, but then we can go ahead, because we're working with black and white, we jump out to lightness to both of the layers. So it just looks on the distortion a lot more. So let's go ahead and type down to 5 pixels again. Let's go back so we can see the clip. And it distorts the whole comp, and you can see the white edges, but we actually just need it for this part. So let's go ahead and take the ellipse tool, and let's find where it begins, like there, and then let's just make this comp like this, and then let's go ahead and start to animate the mask pathing here. Mask path, this, clicking V, shift click on one of these to really start to animate this. We just need like settlement. We don't need a lot of distortion around, just like around the thing itself, and a bit of the face. So this is kind of just like tweaking out and really finding what works best for you. Let's split the layer there and take the opacity for this distortion adjustment layer. Click on the stopwatch to just take the 100 a bit down, and let's click on 0. And here when it starts, I want it to also have the 100 keyframe right there. So it fades in there, keep it to 0 in the beginning, and let's just delete the first part. Okay, so now we got some heat distortion going on around the flame. It's subtle, but it's there, and it adds up to the effect. Actually, we could go ahead and take the 100 value to 80, just so it's not that intense, but really it depends on your clip. If you want more heat, it's fairly easy to add. Then you can just go ahead and play with the max horizontal displacement and just add a bigger value there, and it will add a bigger distortion. So okay, so this is what we have here, and it looks already pretty cool. Okay, so the next thing to do is to add the distortion for the face. So what we're going to do is to add a new adjustment layer and call this face distort, or whatever you want to call it. And let's go ahead and find bulge. One of my favorite distort effects here is bulge. Let's go ahead and find the point where we want the largest amount of bulging happening. Let's go ahead and click on the horizontal radius, vertical radius, and the bulge height and taper radius. Okay, not taper. These three, hit you on your keyboard so you can see all the keyframes, and we want it to be around at this height, and let's put the bulge height to -5 or -5 is pretty cool. Now let's go back in time to put these to 0. These to 0. So it goes down. We could actually make it this so this happens over a longer period of time. So now we get a small distortion here. Could actually make it a bit longer. Then we can go play with the taper radius, so you can see where it starts to affect. So we can put like 60 and it looks okay. So we can see a small distortion there. Really adds up to the thing here. We could actually make it a bit more intense. Okay, that looks cool. And then let's go ahead and over time let's fade this away. So let's put this to 0 and this also to 0. Let's put this a bit longer there. And actually, let's not use the vertical and the height displacement, just like the radius ending. So then the circle and the amount of the distortion is in the same proportions of scale, but then it just like fades away like this. That looks a lot better. Could actually change the center more there on his eyes. Okay, let's go ahead and move all these keyframes a bit so it happens a bit faster. Okay, so now we got some distortion. Okay, body glow. So there we want a body glow. So how we do that is we create a solid, and let's go ahead and take the color of the glow. Let's put it to add. No, add. Like this, and let's go ahead and drop the opacity. And then let's go ahead and take the pen tool, and then let's just make a mask around his face and his body. Like this. Now let's go ahead and add another mask for his hand. And then let's go ahead and feather those out. So we got this glow. So let's go ahead and type the opacity of them. 19% is pretty good, and it will take the whole time. And somewhere here we want the opacity to fade away to 0. So as you can see, it's not moving. We fixed that. Just in a second here. Keep this to 0. We're just making the fade animation there. And now let's go ahead and take mask path for both masks. Alright, so this is what we have, and that looks pretty great. So the last thing to do is actually to do the color grade. So let's go ahead and take all our elements and pre-compose them like that. Super awesome. And then let's go ahead and find the curves adjustment. Let's go ahead and create a new adjustment layer. We're gonna call it CC for color correction, color grade, or whatever you want to do. So let's go ahead and add some darkness, a bit more contrast. Okay, just like a contrast layer. Then we'll want to find lumetri color for color correction. It's a very high dynamic range. No. So click that off and go to basic correction. Let's go ahead and take the temperature, take it just a bit up, play with the tint so we like it. Exposure, take that up just a bit, and contrast, we can add some contrast there, and highlights to really get that to pop. shadows, and whites and blacks. Creative, let's go take a bit of a faded film so it gives a bit of that high dynamic range contrast look. So take the sharpen amount just like to 20. Let's take the vibrance down. So we're really creating that blockbuster feel. So this like creates the bit of the black and white feel there. We could actually just have it to 20. No, not that one. Minus 20. Okay, and then let's go ahead and take another adjustment layer and call these HDR pass and find unsharp mask. It's just a way to add sharpness to really tie everything up. So then let's type in the amount to 30, the radius to 20, take the amount to 22, like this. So you can see what it creates. It creates a settle sharpening over here, and our effect is done. So this is what our effect will eventually look like. That's actually pretty cool. So hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial, and thanks if you learned something new out of it. Thanks guys for watching this video project. If you did like it, don't forget to give me a huge like below this video. Don't either forget to drop me a comment in the comments section. Hey, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to keep up with all the new content which is coming all the time, so you don't miss on anything. Suggest forms are down below if you want to make your suggestions become real episodes of Phenomenal Creations. So drop your suggestions in the form, links in the description. Guys, thanks for watching this video, and remember, learn, master, impress. See you guys in the next one.